30 Secrets and Easter Eggs in Hogwarts Legacy. As you explore the Room of Requirement for the first time, it looks almost identical to the films, but most fans didn't notice this secret. In the Half-Blood Prince, Draco Malfoy uses a vanishing cabinet to sneak Death Eaters into the school, and this exact same cabinet is right here hiding in plain sight. Over in Potions class, there's an Easter egg that references a hated Harry Potter character. On the wall, these rules are hung up, telling students to not use magic in the hallways, keep rooms outside, and not all beasts make good pets. Of course, this is a reference to the decrees that Dolores Umbridge hammered to the wall in Order of the Phoenix. But I personally love this hidden detail in the restricted section of the library. As you sneak through it with Sebastian, there's a book that no one is talking about. On this shelf, press interact, and Sebastian says,
"Secrets of the darkest arts." I'm impressed.
Hardcore fans of the series will know that Secrets of the Darkest Arts is actually one of the most important things in Harry Potter. That is because Voldemort finds this exact same book and will eventually use it to learn about Horcruxes. I'm gonna tell you, there are plenty of other insane references scattered throughout Hogwarts. In the Room of Requirement, chess pieces from the first movie are lurking in the background, the same ones Ron uses in the Sorcerer's Stone. And speaking of hidden entrances, everyone has been asking one question: is the Chamber of Secrets in Hogwarts Legacy? Well, go into the Slytherin dungeons, and sure enough, the bathroom is right here in its full glory. Now, you can't actually open the chamber, but there is still something to find. Casting Revelio will unlock a page that says, scratched into one of the copper taps on this seemingly ordinary sink is a small snake. No one knows what it means. Instead, maybe you should check out the Hufflepuff common room. Just be careful though, as it could totally embarrass you. If you belong to any other house, these barrels won't let you in, and if that wasn't clear enough, they also douse you in vinegar just for good measure. Now, you probably know there are different rooms for witches and wizards, so if you get extra curious and try to enter the wrong dorm, the stairs turn into a slide and send you flying back down. And there's something even crazier in Professor Weasley's office. Near the door, you can find this top hat with rabbit ears inside a glass cage. Now, it could be a fitting tribute to Alice in Wonderland, but there is another possibility. In Chapter 4, Prisoner of Azkaban, they go to Diagon Alley and see a fat white rabbit, which kept changing into a silk top hat and back again. It's only mentioned in the books and never again. But either way, this Easter egg is super interesting. Something that can't be doubted is in the Grand Staircase Tower. Head up to the trophy room and you'll spot a large casket. This actually contains the Goblet of Fire. It tells us exactly where this thing is stored when they're not using it. Probably one of the funniest references is in Hogsmeade, where Quest makes fun of Ron Weasley. They're sent to the outskirts of the Forbidden Forest and told to follow the butterflies. It leads you to treasure and gives you an achievement, but more importantly, this whole thing is a subtle nod to Ron saying,
"Wait, spiders? Why couldn't it be follow the butterflies?"
There's also a secret room in the dungeons that's very easy to miss. This wall looks pretty normal, and using Revelio doesn't show anything out of the ordinary. But the K is a door and takes you to a room full of werewolf research, from statues to drawings, and even tapestry of an old fairy tale. An animal that's a little more harmless is cats, and if there's anyone who loves cats the most, it's Professor Umbridge. Her office was full of feline plates in the movies, and now they're in Hogwarts Legacy. You can get them from any random chest and are decorations for the Room of Requirement. An Easter egg that everyone is excited about is in this bathroom stall. You're probably wondering why a cauldron is in the toilet, and that's because it's a subtle homage to the Chamber of Secrets, when Hermione made Polyjuice Potion in the bathroom. Speaking of breaking the rules, the Slytherin common room is underwater, and this window points directly out to the Black Lake. Before release, the devs told us not to tap the glass, but obviously, we're gonna do that. I mean, come on. If you hit the window enough times, a tentacle slaps the glass. Of course, this belongs to the giant squid, and if you go into free cam mode, you can see that it's just lurking underneath the window, waiting to strike at all times. Now, there's another weird room in the corridors, and it can only be accessed by this toad statue. It leads to an abandoned office, but the real surprise is when you leave, revealing that it was above you the whole time. It's not the only thing hiding in plain sight, because one of the main characters in the game is also featured in the movies, and nobody realized. In one scene, Sirius Black shows his family tree, and on the wall, you can see the name Phineas Nigellus Black, the headmaster in Hogwarts Legacy. According to Sirius, he was the least popular headmaster the school has ever had, and Dumbledore even talks to Phineas's portrait in Order of the Phoenix. We had no idea how important this background character would actually turn out to be. Maybe you should be more interested in the joke shop at Hogsmeade. There's a chance you'll find two identical ginger NPCs running around, and this is a reference to Fred and George Weasley, who set up their own store just like this in the movie. Another beloved character is Hagrid, and his iconic house is actually on the map. Considering this takes place 100 years creatures in the past, it looks the exact same, including the pumpkin farm. What's interesting is this tombstone around the side, and there's no way to tell what it means, but some people think it's a subtle homage to Buckbeak, who was saved from execution and prisoner of Azkaban. I'm pretty on the fence about this one, but let me know what you think in the comments. There is other creatures in the game, and one of them is on the castle grounds. It's hard to spot from a distance, but when you get closer, it's revealed to be a dragon bush, and instead of breathing fire, it shoots out leaves. For a more traditional dragon, you gotta look at the main menu. Not only is the Hogwarts Legacy map 3D, but it's animated and there's a dragon flying around. Who knows? Maybe it is actually up there in the clouds. Another awesome attention to detail is the chessboards around the castle. Not only do they play themselves, but it's showing a real-life move called Fool's Mate, the fastest possible way to beat someone in chess. Maybe you're feeling a little competitive? Well, there's a way to outsmart the game for yourself. Every chest you open gives a random item. It is not predetermined, which means you could rig the system. Just save before opening it, and if you're unhappy with what's inside, load the file and try again. The world of Hogwarts Legacy is full of discoveries, and one of the coolest is on the eastern side of Hogsmeade. It's a normal-looking farm, but if you use Revelio, this page will appear describing the secrets of who owns it. Apparently, the land belongs to a squib, aka someone with wizard parents, but no magical powers. Instead of having a normal life, the farmer decided to stay in the wizarding world and now lives on this farm in Hogsmeade. Now, there is a way to leave the country, but it's only available to a small percentage of players. Azkaban is a prison in the middle of the ocean, and if your character belongs to Hufflepuff, they could go there. No one else gets this mission, but it features Dementors, exclusive cutscenes, and you could even walk around the cells. One of the main companions in the game is Natty, who you can learn more about by asking questions. She reveals that she transferred from Wagadu in Uganda, and it's apparently the largest wizarding school in the world, even bigger than Hogwarts. It's carved out of a mountainside, and they use wandless magic there. I wish we could see it for ourselves, but we're also hoping that Quidditch makes an appearance. As you know, at the start of the game, Headmaster Black cancels the season, but that doesn't stop us from getting a taste of the action. In a secret room, there's a miniature version of Quidditch, and you could stand there and watch him play. Someone who is actually tired of standing there is this suit of armor, and there's a pretty dark Easter egg that you could find here. Every time you walk past these two, one of them is humming, and the other is getting pretty annoyed. Well, it takes a few visits, but eventually you'll find yourself in the middle of a murder. An Easter egg that nobody can explain is found at the very start of the game. The tutorial mission has these two just hanging out, a Niffler and a Mandrake. There's a few theories out there, from a Ratchet and Clank reference to something a little more believable. In Fantastic Beasts, Newt's main companions are Teddy and Pickett. Even though Pickett isn't a Mandrake, I could definitely see this being a tribute to the game. Now, if you're taking in the atmosphere of the castle, you'll recognize some music from time to time. Well, in Hogsmeade, a piano is there with 11 different songs to choose, all from famous classical composers like Mozart and Beethoven. But it's not just you who appreciates it. At night, there's a ghost couple who dance when no one is around. They're super friendly, unlike some creatures that lurk in the Forbidden Forest. If you explore far enough, you'll find centaurs patrolling just like they do in the movies, but I'd recommend keeping your distance. Those were 30 secrets and Easter eggs in Hogwarts Legacy. It's been Tommy, keep it here on T5G.